Hello all sentient beings and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the... On this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we wonder where are all the IDW Transformers comics? Wave 5 of the Transformers trading card game has been announced, and a new stop-motion Transformers video is released by Hasbro. Today is Friday, December 27th, 2019, and this is episode 161 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that looks forward to the inevitable Alien vs. Transformers vs. Predator crossover. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
Yo!
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hey. Let's talk Transformers.
All right, we are doing our final Transmissions Alt Mode of 2019, and we're celebrating. We're coming off of the Christmas high. We opened all our presents. Now we're settling down to wrap up this final show before we take a break. Let's enjoy. And again, we thanked everyone on Christmas, but we gotta thank them again, all our Donatrions, for continuing to help us out and support us throughout the years, and we appreciate you. So, all you Donatrions, thank you so much. And if you'd like to become a Donatrion, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. Or if you want some Transmissions merchandise, you can go to our TeePublic store. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And you can also go to K-Girl's TeePublic store, which is teepublic.com/user/superstark. She does a lot of cool designs, artwork. She's done a lot of artwork for us, and her art is really cool. So check it out. You've still got time to enter or to fill out the Best of 2019 survey for the best Transformers toys and comics of 2019. This survey is going until January 1st. So hopefully you can get your vote in and help us figure out what is the best out of all the hundreds of Transformers toys and comics that were released this year. We've got a little bit over 140 entries, so please continue to send entries in and help us make sure this is the definitive list of the best of 2019 for Transformers. All right, let's go on to some comics news. This week on Transformers Comics News, first up, we've got another cover gallery from Alex Milne, and this is for Transformers Galaxies number 5. So this is the first issue of the Cliffjumper two-part story. So we already saw the one that was the stained glass window artwork. That was really cool. But this one is another. It's another cool image, and also tells a little bit more about the story. You've got Cliffjumper here, and looks like he's a little bit in the shadow of Bumblebee. So it looks like everyone's mistaking him for Bumblebee. It's a really cool, cool concept and cool idea, and I like the way this cover came together. And so this is art by Alex Milne and colors by Josh Perez. So we've on Twitter, Alex posted the pencils, then the lines, then the flats, and then the final color image. So next, we've got the solicitations for March of 2020. So these are all the Transformers comics coming out in March of next year. And it's mostly nothing too surprising. We've got Transformers number 19. We've got Transformers Galaxies number 7, and that's starting a new story arc featuring RC and Greenlight, and they're the newest Transformers who was just created, Gage. And RC and Greenlight are the mentors for Gage, so it's going to be an interesting story focusing on this new character. And then we've got Transformers Volume 2. This is the trade paper, or a hardcover, I guess, not a paperback, that's collecting Transformers number 13 to 18 and Galaxies numbers 1 to 6. So it's another 12-issue hardcover there. And the final issue that's being announced for March 2020 solicitations is a big surprise. Transformers versus the Terminator #1. So we've got a new crossover for Transformers. This is becoming a regular thing for Transformers now. I remember years ago we were always speculating about what would we like to see Transformers cross over with, and it looks like we're gonna whatever you can think of, whatever you'd like to see Transformers cross over with, it's gonna happen eventually. I did never expect to see Transformers versus the Terminator, but here we are. This is going to be written by David Marriott, John Barber, and Tom Waltz. David Marriott and Tom Waltz are both editors on the regular Transformers books. Also, Tom Waltz is a writer on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW books. And art by Alex Milne. Friend of the show, Alex Milne, and one of our favorite Transformers artists. So that's very cool that he's getting to do this miniseries. Daryl, I'm going to start with you. What do you think of this development?
I'm pretty excited. Yeah, it's no secret that I'm a huge fan of Alex's art. So getting any chance to see his work in a book is just a treat for me. And the Terminator is just a really fun franchise that I believe is owned by Dark Horse. And so this is a really interesting joint venture between IDW and Dark Horse right now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Alex is going to be able to knock it out of the park because, I mean, the Terminators are robots and, you know, not that Alex can't draw humans, but he draws robots really well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And from the judging by at least the first cover that was released, it looks like it might be pretty dark. There's really no information as to. I'm not reading any spoilers or any kind of solicitations on it. So it might be, who knows? It might be super campy and really fun like the Ghostbusters one, but I doubt it. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty dark and pretty violent, which I think would be awesome. So yeah, I just want to get some more violence and destruction in my life with Alex Milne at the helm. So
smashy robot.
Yeah,
nice. Yoshi, you are a fan of 80s properties. Is this mashup something that you might be interested in?
I think I'm going to let them try and win me over. When it was announced, I was kind of like, I don't remember asking for this. And I don't know who else was asking for it, but it didn't hit me like I saw a lot of reactions being like, oh, this is such a great idea. I'm interested in seriously reading the first issue and seeing where it's going. But it wasn't like, it didn't hit me like, oh, this is of course, Mm-hmm. Like, I'm also weary because the Ghostbusters crossover was kind of okay. It was probably the best one so far. The Transformers and Star Trek crossover bothered me. So I guess they're 1-0 in my book. So I'm interested. I want to read that first issue and see where it's going.
I think that would be 1 for 1. One out of two. 1 out of
Okay.
2. 1 and 1. Well, yeah, I agree with you. Actually, the Star Trek Transformers crossover was not my favorite, but I actually really enjoyed the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover. So, if it's more along, like, at least I feel like Transformers and Terminators could be they're a little bit more closer in terms of, I guess, themes, maybe. I mean, they're both about sentient robots, so I hope that there's some things you can explore there. I mean, the Terminator are robots basically without emotion that are just there to murder humans, and then the Transformers are robots that are all emotion. So I'm curious to see how they pit those two things against each other. And we've always got, with Transformers, you've always got the Autobots and Decepticons. So how does their conflict figure in to connecting with the Terminator and the war against the machines?
Maybe it would be one of those stories where they got to put their differences aside to put the Terminators down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this cover way too literally. Like, what if you know, like in the movies, Terminator was skinned up and came back. Like, what if he's skinned up as a Transformer? And this is, just, I don't know. I'm just,
that could be true too.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I'm maybe I am just taking it too literally, or maybe I'm not. But there's a lot of questions. There's a shit ton of directions they could go in, and I guess I'm rooting for John Connor.
Connor.
Fuck me.
John Carter's on Mars.
Right.
That's the next crossover.
Yeah,
2021.
No shit, right? We were talking about it earlier. It could be Lethal Weapon, the next one.
All right. Well, yeah, that was very exciting news for me. So that's cool to end the year with that interesting announcement. Unfortunately, another thing we're ending the year with is no new Transformers comics. So we've had a significant drought of Transformers comics. They're about 2 months behind at this point. We're just to wrap up the year, we're not doing a review this week. Just to, we wanted to have a little bit start our holiday break a little bit early, guys. So hope you don't
Not
mind.
that there's anything to review. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. The comics have to be done, so maybe it's just all Diamond distribution that for whatever reason
for 2 fucking months.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, just be a little fucking transparent, IDW. Quit trying to distract us with other series. You're distracting us with other series that aren't out yet, or covers for books that aren't out yet, and avoiding the issue of why don't we have anything to fucking read right now? Whose fault is it? Be a little transparent about it. Quit being like, this is normal. Like, of course we're not really. Fucking tell us something.
Yeah,
says the guy who's never on any episodes to review shit.
I didn't say that.
I know. It's all right. I did.
I mean, but this is. I mean, unfortunately, this is kind of par for the course for comics in general. None of the companies really give any kind of announcements when books are late or whatever. They just
but how many other properties do you subscribe to that are like? Because I mean, it doesn't happen with. I don't read a lot of comics. I do go in every Wednesday and I pick up what's waiting for me, but I don't think I read a lot compared to the other people I see that come into my store. Like, none of my shit has been delayed. Like, is there stuff you're collecting, Charles or Daryl, that's been delayed that's outside the realm of Transformers? I know shit's delayed. I mean, Watchmen versus DC or whatever. That's a big example, but that's not a printing issue. That's creative's issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any. I can't think of anything else that is delayed like this. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, and I imagine if it's an issue between IDW and Diamond, it's probably something that they can't really talk about because of contracts or something. So we probably won't know unless we actually work for IDW. Quit
this childish game of, oh, look over here, Transformers versus dude. Get your own fucking books out on time and then talk. I bet you, Charles, they did not want to announce this. I bet you dimes to nickels they did not want to mention this before the end of the year.
I'll take that bet because it's just the normal March solicitation. So if they were going to put it out in March, they have to put it out now. So thanks. I'll take those dimes and nickels from you.
Merry Christmas. I know you love correcting people. There you go.
As far as my collection, my comics go, I mean, I collect or read too much to actually notice if something's getting delayed. The only ones that I do notice are the Transformers books because we are hyper-focused on them for the show. But yeah, no, if something else, Marvel or DC-wise, gets delayed, I tend not to notice. If it's a week, 2 weeks, delay, I really don't notice because I'm collecting or reading 15 titles right now. So it's a lot of titles. But as far as this particular week goes, it's been 2 weeks, I think, that we're behind now for this issue. It's
2 months.
2 months now?
Yeah. The last Transformers issue came out in early November, and that was already a month late.
Oh. All right. Well, I mean, there could be an issue, so...
There's an issue with the issue.
I don't know. I mean, you've now also, you have to... Whether they had to go back and fix something... you don't know. I know that the last issues that came out were Tom Belong's last issues, so maybe the person lettering's taking longer. Maybe Diamond in this particular month has been getting stuff out later. There were a couple holidays here that, you had one, we had one, so, that kind of thing will delay stuff. Not generally any of the ones up here would delay any of the books for Diamond because they're US based, but a Thanksgiving weekend is going to push shit back. But yeah, so there's going to be a reason, but we'll never know about it. And I don't personally, like I said, it doesn't affect me too much because I'm still constantly about 4 months behind, so it's not really that big of a deal for me. There's lots of other TV shows to review.
But it is a big deal for you because it affects the show, right?
We review cartoons. It's no big deal.
Well, I'd like to have Transformers comics on time, so it's annoying for me because I don't read as much as you, Daryl. So it's Transformers is the one thing I kind of look forward to. So,
dude, there's some good shit out there. You should.
Yeah, I play video games too. That's also it's a problem of too much media and not enough time to enjoy everything.
It's not that hard to just release a statement and say, even something bullshit like, we're just striving to release the best Transformers comic book possible. We'll see you next year. I don't know. Just throw fucking something at us. Don't just pretend like it's not happening and we didn't notice.
It's got to hurt their sales too, because if you don't put the book out, people forget about it, then they don't pick it up when it finally comes out. So,
although I have to say, Daryl made an interesting point, and I, for one, back the rehiring of Tom Belong.
I think we all do.
Man is a hero in my eyes.
All right, well, let's move on to Transformers Media News.
All right, so this week in media news, not a whole hell of a lot going on. Transformers Online, remember that. It's was run by Tencent Games. It's shutting down permanently. So if you were actually still playing that, kudos to you. So I remember that thing and actually wanting to play it, but never seeing the it actually, start running properly.
This one it's a Chinese exclusive one, so I think none of us were going to get to play it.
Well, wasn't this the original one? They just, some Chinese company took it and just made it exclusive over there. That's what I thought anyway. But, it says
it's a multiplayer online first-person shooter.
Yeah, that's what the game was originally.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I don't know. There was a Transformers Online back between the second and third movie or something like that, and then it just kind of fizzled away, and then this thing here kind of popped up, and yeah, anyway, it's gone. So if you were still playing it, sorry. The Transformers TCG, Wave 5 is announced for April 2020, and that is, I guess we really don't have a name of what the set is, but it's going to be coming out in April. So,
dude, who would have ever thought that we'd be saying a Transformers trading card game, Wave 5, out of all the little niches for this hobby to be fucking excelling at, trading card game was never on my radar.
It's doing well. It's doing well. So yeah, good for them. So yeah, so look for that in April. Not a lot of information here about that, but yeah, if you're into the game, more cards. Yay! Transformers Cyberverse Power of the Spark episode 16 is now available on YouTube for the Americans. If not, you know where to get it. We've talked about it a bunch. Daily Motion. Go look it up. You can get the rest of them there too. And lastly, the official Transformers media accounts. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, probably. I don't go on there, but likely Twitch as well. Has released 2 stop motion videos celebrating the holiday season. Called A Very Transformers Holiday, and part 1 and part 2, and they're fun. I was watching them before we started recording tonight. The first one is a very fun scene showing all the Siege, a bunch of Siege figures having a Christmas dinner, and then some kind of mishaps happened, and then the video ends with a bit of a food fight. Now, The second video is all about those mishaps and how they started happening, and that they were actually not just accidents, they were caused by a bunch of bots messing around. So you can take a look at that. And I thought it was interesting how they intertwined the second video and the mishaps in with the what was happening in the first video. So that was kind of fun. So good job to them. That probably took them quite a while to do because each one is over 4 minutes long. So yeah, that's a lot of time in the stop motion department. So good for them. Check them out if you have time. And that's it for media news.
All right. Yeah, I like those two stop motion videos. I really enjoyed them as well. And yeah, bots are some dang cute little guys. I also liked Megatron continually slapping Starscream. That was fun. All right. Well, let's finish up the show with convention news.
In convention news this week, TFCon has announced that artist Jack Lawrence will be attending TFCon Orlando 2020. I can personally attest to Jack being possibly the second most polite person I've ever met at a convention. The guy's really nice. You should go say hi to him. Second, TFCon announced that Transformers G1 narrator Victor Caroli is attending TFCon Orlando 2020. This is being touted as his very first convention appearance, so that's wicked cool. A signature I certainly wish I could add to my collection. And what do you think, Charles? Are you going to go to Florida now?
I mean, that is tempting.
Come on. Fucking just do it.
I would just like to be in a room with Victor Caroli and Josh Perez doing his Victor Caroli impression and just see how that plays out. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, yeah, Victor Caroli it's
that's a get.
You know, what's he been up to the last 35 years? I'm curious. Yeah, that is a very cool get, but it's still a difficult trip there. By the way, Yoshi, who's the most polite person you've ever met at a con?
Roger Sweet, the creator of He-Man.
Ah, okay. Jack is in good company then.
He is in very good company. Very good company. What about you, Daryl? You want to go to Florida?
I would love to go to Florida in March.
Let's go to Florida. I'll go with you.
I would have to bring my family though, and going to Florida in March is much more of a big holiday than it is a weekend. So
let me throw an idea at you.
Throw away.
Does your wife follow Transformers like you do?
No.
Okay. Does she, if you were to look at her browser history for the last 3 years, would you see TFCon in it?
No.
Okay. So tell her it's in DC.
In where?
In DC.
That's still pretty far for me, dude.
Well, I'm trying to help you.
Yep, I get it. I should tell her it's in Toronto, but she can't go because it's just the hotel room's just for one. So I can't.
All right. Well, if I can help, you let me know. And I think that's it for convention news this week, Charles.
All right. And that will wrap up this last episode of Transmissions Alt Mode for 2019. Thanks, everyone, for listening and helping us close the book on another awesome year of Transformers goodness. We hope you will stick with us in 2020 as we continue to bring you more Transformers content. Next week, we are off, so we will have some clip shows going up for both Transmissions and for Transmissions Alt Mode. So Jeremy's putting those together. And then we will be back for regular shows after that week. So next new show will be January, I guess, 8th. That's probably it. January 8th for Transmissions and January 10th for Alt Mode. Hopefully there'll be a new Transformers comic by then that we can review. And we'll see.
That's cute.
All right, everyone. Hope you continue to have a great holiday break. And
I hope Will's New Year's resolution is to be on the show on time next time.
I'm sure it is. All right, everyone. Thanks for continuing to listen. Have a great holiday. We'll see you in 2020. Bye-bye.
Good night, Daryl.
Good night, Yoshi.
Good night, Charles.
Later.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week. Down.
There we go.
It's like Jeremy was playing a recording. You got off light, IDW. In convention news this week, TFCon has announced that artist Jack Lawrence is flying across the pond to attend TFCon Toronto 2020. I can personally test
Orlando.
What did I say?
Toronto.
Oh, fuck me. Sorry, Charles, edit point.